boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Recent commentary from friend of the channel, Joe Habib, who reacted to Sean Zatel's grandstanding last week at the presser for Canelo vs. Crawford by saying, "It turns out that more people were interested in the actual fight and not the proposed amendments to the Muhammad Ali Act. Keep in mind that Muhammad Ali's widow, who oversees his legacy, likeness rights, charitable foundations, and business, and personal affairs, publicly endorsed the proposed amendments. That should hold more weight than a handful of journos who are engaging in performative activism."
Translate that for the stupid people.
Once again, all of this is a matter of public record that was published weeks ago. Muhammad Ali's widow endorses the Ali Act, so why doesn't Sean Zatel? And why doesn't so many of these other people? Muhammad Ali's widow, Lani Ali, has publicly endorsed the proposed amendments to the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act, known as the Muhammad Ali American Boxing Revival Act. She views the legislation as a modernization of the sport, aiming to provide greater opportunities and protections for boxers. In a statement, she expressed that if Muhammad Ali were alive today, he would support efforts to ensure the sport remains strong and viable for future generations of athletes.
The way you tell it, there's nothing to look at and nothing to see here. So why is so many people in boxing raising a stink?
It's what Joe Habib said. It's performative activism. It's so that they can look like the concerned party, so that they can look like the good guys when this information has been out for weeks, for months. And most active boxers right now will not be affected in the least bit by these proposed changes to the Muhammad Ali Act, because most of the changes are to allow the existence of UBOs.
But if you're a boxer and you're not boxing in a UBO, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Nothing changed.
That's what some people don't seem to want to understand. I gather it's because, well, it was published weeks ago, but print is a dying medium. Americans don't read as much as they used to.
The people acting concerned about Dana White's presence in the sport and revisions to the Ali Act are only pretending to be concerned. It's performative, just like Joe Habib said, because if they really cared, they would have read up on this and they would know there's nothing to worry about. They only pretend like they're worried to seem like the good guys and to make Dana White seem like the bad guy.
Adding to that story, and what fighters you can expect to see boxing under the TKO banner, I came across a story that indicates Brandon Adams, who recently beat Sergey Boachuk for the second time, he is expected to box under the TKO banner. I also saw a similar story in reference to Kazakhstan's Daniyar Yelusinov. Kazakh guy used to box under the Matchroom banner a couple of years ago.
They are now saying that he will also box under the TKO banner. And what do you notice about Brandon Adams or Daniyar Yelusinov? These are not big money makers. These are not big ticket sellers, big draws. These guys already don't make that much. They likely stand to make more under this UBO.
What did I tell you before? TKO boxing is not for guys like Keyshawn Davis or Shakur Stevenson, blue chip prospects and standout amateurs, big money makers. That's not the kind of boxer that TKO would service. TKO is for that mid to low tier boxer. Maybe they're good, maybe they're okay, but they ain't got no marquee value. What TKO can do for them is get their career some traction, get them on a regular schedule of activity, perhaps pay them more than anybody else is paying them because they already don't make that much.
There are some boxers out there, mid to low tier boxers, that might actually benefit from joining a UBO, and for them, that avenue is open.
It's just an alternative to the norm. It's not a requisite, it's not obligatory that every boxer moving forward box under a UBO. Most boxers will be largely unaffected by these revisions to the Ali Act that isn't even a thing outside of America anyway.
So why are people in America acting like this is the end of the world?
It's what Joe Habib said. It is largely performative, because I've watched the PBC violate the Muhammad Ali Act more times than I can count, and these same people didn't bat an eyelash over it. They don't start caring until Dana White comes into the picture. Dana White, who actually went through the proper channels.
So I'm just telling you, This is further indication that all this hullabaloo about changes to the Muhammad Ali Act is much ado about nothing. Most boxers,
Most of them.
the vast majority of them,
Most.
are not going to be affected by this.
The changes themselves are only to allow the existence of mini leagues, boxing leagues, like TKO, but not everybody has the war chest of a Dana White and a Nick Khan and a Turki El Al-Sheikh.
Not everybody can afford to start up their own mini league.
And last I checked, Turki El Al-Sheikh is not in the business of underpaying fighters. Most of the time, he's overpaying guys. So what are you worried about?
Because nobody wants to fight, and to fight me,
That's
people want to
not
get paid.
true.
If
That's
people
not
wanna
true.
get paid,
That's not
people
true.
wanna get paid.
There's plenty
Okay,
of people that
wanna
want
get paid fighting me.
Johnny
That
Beck
is
wanted
true.
to fight you.
That is
Johnny
true.
Beck wanted to fight you. Carlos Adames will fight you. Pacheco will fight
Where do
you.
you see this at? Where do you see this? Did they go on public and say, Demetrius Andrade, I'll fight him? Did they say that?
You got to get active, Demetrius.
No,
There's
no,
no
no.
way you
Answer
gonna
that
get
question.
how you
Answer
gonna
that
get a
question.
how you gonna get a Canelo fight,
Bro,
and you ain't
answer that
active.
question. I got a David Benavidez fight.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I'm
Because you
campaigning.
know why? Because I'm a man.
No,
I'm
no,
man
this
enough to step
exactly
into the
this
ring with
exactly why
motherfuckers.
I'm campaigning against this shit. It ain't fair to the motherfuckers in the rankings. Pacheco is fighting everybody. Christian Billy is fighting everybody, and you want to cut the
Everybody.
line.
Yo, bro, what
You don't
talking
deserve
about?
to cut the
I've been
line.
doing this for a long time, bro. Whoever
I
you
said
mentioned,
Carlos
bro.
Adames.
These
I said Pacheco. I mean, there's plenty of people.
Pacheco. Okay, there's plenty of people to call out a lot of people. I call out a lot of people. People still don't want to fight. So what are you saying?
My bro, you calling
not
people
saying
out.
nothing.
You calling people out, and you've been out the ring. Let me tell you
Because
exactly how
nobody
long.
wants to fight. And you know how much money niggas want to fight me?
Days.
You know how much money people want to fight me, bro?
Yeah, they probably want a lot of money.
A lot.
All
lot.
right.
And you know what the promoters are going to do? Not pay it.
So you got to get your marketability up.
My marketability. Yeah, by fighting the best motherfuckers. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, by staying active. By staying active.
Dude,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Was Triple G fighting the best?
I'm talking about fighting
Was
Chalo.
Triple
I'm talking
G
about fighting Chalo.
fighting the best?
I'm talking about fighting Chalo, bro.
I
want to fight
Chalo belong in rehab. Stop this shit.
Oh my God.
Who
But
the
you
fuck
want
you
him to-
fooling?
you-
You
it's
not
okay-
fooling
it's
me.
okay
I'm a
for-
purist. I'm a
It's okay for
purist.
him to-
You
it's
can't
okay for him
fool
to fight
me.
Cornflake, though. It's okay for him to fight David Benavidez Jr.'s brother, though.
You picking on a
Everybody goes
motherfucker
through
going
something.
through something.
Everybody goes through something.
Man, go pick on him,
Everybody
Billy.
goes-
Pick on
everybody.
Christian and Billy. Pick on Christian and Billy. Pick on fucking Lester Martinez. Pick on
Listen,
Diego Pacheco.
Oh, them niggas to
You need
sign
somebody
that
to
shit
get you a
and let
fight.
it be known, bro.
You need
Let it be
to
known.
talk to Pro Box and get you a fight, because you ain't gonna get a fight 660 days sitting outside in front of you. And look, right where I said,
It's cool.
he on his
My point
mansion.
is-
That's what
my
the fuck
point
I
is-
said. I said you
my
on your
point
5
is-
acres calling
my
out
point
big
is-
names
my point
off
is,
of a
people
fucking
don't wanna
layoff.
fight.
No, sir.
People don't
Listen,
wanna fight.
listen to me, man. Listen.
People don't want to fight, bro. Yeah,
So-
it's been
so-
tough.
so
Niggas do not
become
wanna
someone's
fight Demetrius
mandatory.
Andrade. People
Become
do not wanna
someone's
fight Demetrius
mandatory.
Andrade.
Become
People do
someone's
not wanna fight
mandatory.
Demetrius
Get
Andrade.
active.
Yeah,
Get
you over here
ranked.
talking
Become
about saving
someone's
niggas.
mandatory.
You over here talking about saving niggas. That's some bitch shit. You
Hey,
want me to be like an
Did you
Alvin
do?
dude,
Did you
but
do what
saved
Canelo did?
Canelo from
Have you
fighting
done what
David.
Canelo's done?
Fuck outta
Have
here.
you done what
Niggas is
Canelo's
bitching.
done?
Dick
Have
riding
you done what
niggas
Canelo's
for no
done?
reason.
Have you done what
Fuck,
Canelo's done?
Yep. Canelo was scared to
I
fight
never
David.
seen
You
it.
told him not
I
to.
never seen
He
it.
was
You
scared
know
to
what you
fight
did?
David.
You know
He
what
was
you did?
scared.
You didn't fight
He was
Johnny Beck.
scared.
You
He
didn't
was
fight
scared.
Johnny Beck. Remember?
Nigga, Johnny Beck
You didn't
ain't
fight
shit
Zach
compared to
Parker.
David
Remember?
Benavidez.
You
That
didn't
nigga
fight
ain't
Zach
shit
Parker.
compared to
Remember?
David Benavidez.
You remember
What
that?
the fuck? Nobody even know who you're talking about, bro.
Exactly.
David Benavidez is a
That's
way
your
bigger
excuse.
name.
That's your
That nigga's a
excuse.
way bigger
The dudes
name.
that's coming up, that deserve a fight,
Benavidez
nobody
will
heard of them.
kill.
But we heard of you.
What I appreciated most about that shouting match between Nestor Gibbs of the Boxing Voice and Demetrius Andrade, who is still, 2 years later, coming off that loss to David Benavidez, is Nestor didn't fold. Nestor didn't back down. He told him the truth at a time where so many in the boxing space are trying to Be buddy-buddy with the boxers and go out to lunch with them.
Send each other reels and text each other memes. He's my friend.
Nestor Gibbs stood on business and he told them the truth. You're trying to cut ahead of the line, ahead of a lot of guys that are active, that are fighting in eliminators, securing mandatory positions where you think just because you're calling out people from your driveway, you're supposed to get a fight.
He says that people want a lot of money to fight Demetrius Andrade as if he doesn't want a lot of money too. And when you got two guys that want a lot of money, you know what happens?
Promoters got to decide whether or not it's worth it, whether or not it's worth paying out that money. And no Demetrius Andrade fight
Is a big fight.
should cost big money. Nestor told him the truth. Get out there, get active, get fighting, and raise your marquee value. The joke is Demetrius is in his mid-30s now.
Mid-30s. He's 37.
The time to get your marquee value up to where people would want to fight you has come and gone. And if you haven't fought now, if you haven't fought in the last 2 years, it's not for lack of opportunity, it's for lack of trying. You could have did what Angelo Leo did. He went over to Pro Box, fought in a couple of stay busy fights. You could have did that.
How much you want to bet that Demetrius thinks he's too good for that?
Some other boxers have been keeping busy in Team Combat League. They've been doing that in between actual fights. But how much do you want to bet that Demetrius thinks he's too good for that?
That's another part of the reason he ain't been active. There is OTX, Dimitri Salita, there is Tom Loeffler. If Demetrius really wanted to get active and get busy, he could have went to any one of them, and no. They're not going to pay you what Matchroom was paying you, but why are they supposed to?
You don't sell shit.
What he's falling back on is that he took the David Benavidez fight that Canelo didn't take, but by the time he took on David Benavidez, he didn't have a choice. He had already turned down so many fights. There is a long paper trail of fights that were available for Demetrius that he didn't take. So by the time David rolls around, that was really your only option.
Think about it. If he didn't take on that David Benavidez fight, what the hell else was he gonna do?
And now he's calling an alcoholic and Jermall Charlo as if Andrade versus Charlo in 2025 is some kind of a big fight or a big deal. That's cold product. You're entitled, and that's what your problem is. And your problem is you made your entire career's focus about a Canelo Alvarez fight. And when both your careers are said and done, he will have accomplished a lot more than you have.
And what are you gonna say? Oh, well, Canelo didn't fight me. Canelo didn't fight me.
When the Con Ed bill comes.
Well, Canelo didn't fight me.
When the car note, the insurance comes.
Well, Canelo didn't fight me.
The mortgage.
Well, Canelo didn't fight me.
Go to the local AMP and get yourself a happy ending.
Well, Canelo didn't fight me. That is going to be your legacy, if anybody even remembers Demetrius Andrade. Well, Canelo didn't fight me.
Big fucking deal. There's a bunch of guys you didn't fight.
Big deal. There's a bunch of fights you turned down because you thought that you were too good for them. Maybe you should have go hit up Dana White, Turkey LL Sheik, and Nick Khan. See if they let you box in their TKO boxing group. That's your best bet now.
Or you can keep belly aching from your driveway, getting in shouting matches with podcasters and see what that solves.
I really appreciate that Nestor Gibbs told the truth, as so few in the boxing space want to do that these days. They rather rub elbows with the boxers, be buddy-buddy with the boxers.
Hey, we're doing karaoke later. You want to come?
It's nauseating how many podcasters and personalities within the boxing space now, all they really want to do is make buddy-buddy with the boxers when the boxers rise and fall like the wheat. Today's hot prospect is tomorrow's has-been. It's harsh, but that's the way it is. So you need to be a servant of the sport and what's good for the sport, because what's good for the sport is good for you, the content creator.
I mean, I'm sure every content creator saw an uptick in their metrics due to this weekend's fight, because this weekend's fight was good for boxing. But you're not going to see an uptick in your metrics talking about no Demetrius Andrade.
Hey, you know what? I've already spent more time on this than necessary. More time than I need to on Demetrius Andrade.
Give me a break.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything.
I agree with Canelo. In hindsight, I actually think Terence is better than Floyd Mayweather in more ways than one. I mean, there is a difference between the fight that Floyd had with Canelo and the fight that Terence had with Canelo. The why of it. When I say that I think Terence is better than Floyd Mayweather, you immediately assume I'm just talking about boxing.
Their X's and O's and how they would fare in a match with each other. I'm not just talking about that, I'm talking about in general.
If you use Canelo as an example, why Floyd fought him and why Terence fought him, they fought the same fighter for different reasons at very different times. Floyd saw a young up-and-coming talent who's becoming popular, but is still green enough that he can beat him.
Whereas Terence fought that same Canelo many years later to challenge himself.
Being the biologically older fighter of the two, moving up 2 weight classes to do it, he knew it would be a challenge, but he also felt that he could win. They fought the same fighter for very different reasons, and I respect Terence's reasons more than Floyd's, because what Floyd liked to do was gravitate towards fighters that have a fan base of their own to amplify the drawing power of a fight. There's nothing wrong with that, but there is this misconception that all those numbers, Floyd did all those numbers by himself. No, he was fighting popular fighters, and that's what made those fights big. Oddly enough, when he retired off the Berto fight,
The numbers were abysmal.
compared to what other numbers he had done with popular fighters, the numbers for that fight were abysmal, because Floyd didn't sell all those pay-per-views by himself.
Crawford is better.
I think that Crawford set a better example for what young fighters can aspire to than Floyd, because Floyd's entire modus operandi was to treat boxing like a bank heist, almost like a swindle. And you have a lot of young fighters with that mindset running around right now. Every B and C level fighter now thinks he's a franchise because of Floyd.
Floyd spawned an era of fighters that are too strategic, to the point where boxing fans in America lost interest in boxing because of these strategic fighters.
Crawford is more a return to the old school. I'm gonna get the big money too, and I'm gonna get the big legacy too, by taking on as many challenges as I can. What separates Crawford from Floyd, and they're both great fighters, is that Floyd would have never did what Crawford just did.
For Floyd to do what Crawford just did on Saturday, oh, well, he would have had to jump up 2 weight classes and fight Gennady Golovkin. No catch weight, no rehydration clause. You're the best. Prove it.
Obviously, Floyd wasn't about to do that. He never did it. Whereas Crawford, that's what he just did. And that is where they are different. That's why Crawford's a 3-time undisputed champion, and Floyd's never been undisputed at all.
Crawford, at 37 years old, took on a fight that a lot of people didn't think he would win, where Floyd would never do that.
I swear they're different, and that's why in more than one arena, at least to me, Crawford is better.
This is an ongoing conversation. I'm just addressing the fighters' temperament and their character. To me, Crawford is better.
He's braver. He's a hero.
He's a badass.